What if I told you the Cowboys might pass on one of the most talented wide receivers in this draft? Sounds crazy, right? But when you take a closer look, it actually makes a lot of sense. The Cowboys don't just need a good receiver, they need the right receiver. One that fits Brian Schottenheimer's offensive vision. That means it's not just about talent, it's about the perfect skill set for this scheme. So what exactly are the Cowboys looking for? Schottenheimer's offense values versatility. Receivers who can move around the formation, run a variety of routes, and contribute in multiple ways. It's not just about speed or size, it's about being a complete player. That's why some highly rated WRs might not even be on the Cowboys' radar. Think about it. The Cowboys already have CeeDee Lamb as their primary target. Brandon Cooks stretches the field with his speed. What they need now is a receiver who complements them, someone who brings something new to the offense. Maybe it's a big-bodied receiver who wins contested catches. Maybe it's a shifty route runner who thrives in the slot. Or maybe it's a dynamic playmaker who can create yards after the catch. And that's where this draft gets interesting. The Cowboys have a big decision to make. The right WR could elevate this offense to another level. The wrong one? Just another name on the depth chart. So let me ask you, what do you think is the most important trait for a Cowboys WR? Is it size, speed, route running, drop? Your thoughts in the comments, and stick around, because up next we'll break down exactly what Brian Schottenheimer looks for in a receiver and why some big-name prospects might not be the right fit. Now that we know the Cowboys need the right type of receiver, let's talk about what that actually means, because not every talented WR is a good fit for this system. First, let's break down the three main types of wide receivers. X receiver, the big, physical outside target. He lines up on the line of scrimmage and faces press coverage. Think of a guy like Dez Bryant in his prime. Z receiver, more of a deep threat, often in motion before the snap. This player thrives on creating separation and stretching the defense. Slot receiver, a quick, agile player who works the middle of the field, finding soft spots in coverage and making plays after the catch. So, where do the Cowboys need help? With CeeDee Lamb dominating from the slot and Brandon Cooks serving as a deep threat, the team needs a versatile WR, someone who can move between the Z and X spots, win against different coverages, and complement the current weapons. That's why Schottenheimer's scheme matters. His offense relies on route precision, spacing, and timing. He values WRs who are disciplined, good after the catch, and capable of lining up in multiple spots. That's why some big-name receivers in this draft might not be the best fit for Dallas. A pure deep threat with limited route ability? Probably not a priority. A raw, one-dimensional WR? Likely off the board. So what should the Cowboys prioritize? A guy who can make contested catches but still separate. A player with great hands, solid route running, and the ability to play multiple roles. Now here's the big question for you. If you had to choose, would you rather have a physical WR who wins with size and strength, or a speedster who can stretch the defense? Vote in the comments, and let's see what Cowboys Nation thinks. All right, now let's get to the fun part. The best wide receivers in this draft who fit perfectly into the Cowboys system. These aren't just the most talented WRs available. They're the ones who match exactly what Dallas needs to elevate its offense. Let's start with number 3. WR number 3. Jonathan Mingo. If you want toughness and versatility, Jonathan Mingo is your guy. At 6'2" and 225 pounds, he brings a physicality that few WRs in this class can match. But don't mistake him for just a big body possession. Receiver. Mingo can move. His ability to line up outside or in the slot makes him a valuable piece in Schottenheimer's offense. The Cowboys love using motion to create favorable matchups, and Mingo thrives in that role. Plus, his run-blocking ability is a huge bonus for an offense that still wants to establish the ground game. Now, let's move on to number 2, a guy with serious star potential. WR number 2, Luther Burden III. Luther Burden is electric. If the Cowboys want a receiver who can create separation and turn short gains into big plays, he's the perfect fit. At 5'11" and 208 pounds, Burden has the explosiveness to be a game changer. His best trait? Route running. He's one of the most polished WRs in this draft, and that's exactly what Schottenheimer values. Burden knows how to get open and how to adjust mid-route, which is crucial for an offense built around timing and precision. With Lamb commanding attention in the slot, Burden could thrive on the outside as a zed receiver, attacking defenses deep while still being a reliable target in the intermediate game. But if you think he's impressive, wait until you see number 1. WR number 1, Matthew Golden. This is the ideal receiver for the Cowboys. Matthew Golden checks every box. Speed? Check. Route running? Check. Versatility? Absolutely. Golden is a dynamic playmaker who can line up anywhere, outside, in the slot, even in motion. He brings the kind of speed that forces defenses to respect him, but he's also got the hands and route technique to be more than just a deep threat. He wins one-on-one matchups, he fights for extra yards after the catch, and he fits Schottenheimer's offense like a glove. Adding Golden to a trio of CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks would instantly give Dallas one of the most dangerous WR groups in the league. Imagine defenses trying to cover all three. Good luck with that. Now let's hear from you. If you were the Cowboys GM, which of these 3 WRs would you draft? Drop your pick in the comments. So, let's say the Cowboys land one of these wide receivers in the draft. What does that actually mean for the offense in 2024? Well, it could change everything. First, let's talk about the current WR core. CeeDee Lamb is already one of the best in the league. Brandon Cooks still has the speed to stretch defenses. But after them, the depth is thin. Adding a rookie WR with high upside immediately gives Dak Prescott another weapon, one that defenses have to respect. Now let's break down how this move could impact the entire offense. 1. More explosive plays. One of the biggest issues in 2023 was inconsistency with big plays. The Cowboys had long stretches where the offense stalled. A WR like Matthew Golden or Luther Burden III fixes that. With their ability to create separation and take short passes for big gains, this offense becomes a real threat to score from anywhere on the field. 2. Less pressure on CeeDee Lamb. Right now, Lamb is the only WR that defenses truly fear. That means constant double teams, bracket coverage, and extra attention. But if Dallas adds a true playmaker opposite him, teams can't afford to focus only on Lamb. That opens up more opportunities for him to dominate. 3. A more balanced attack. Brian Schottenheimer's scheme is built on balance, mixing the pass and the run while keeping defenses guessing. A WR who can block effectively, like Jonathan Mingo, helps the running game. A WR with elite speed, like Golden or Burden, keeps safeties deep, creating more room underneath. Either way, the entire offense benefits. But here's a question for you. Which current Cowboys player do you think would benefit the most from this draft pick? Let me know in the comments. Up next, we'll wrap things up with a final analysis. Will the Cowboys actually make this move? Or are we dreaming? Let's talk about it. So, there you have it. The top 3 wide receivers who would fit perfectly in the Cowboys offense. Jonathan Mingo brings physicality and versatility, making him an asset in both the passing and running game. Luther Burden III is an explosive playmaker who can stretch the field and create separation at an elite level. And then there's Matthew Golden, the ideal pick, offering speed, route running, and the ability to contribute immediately. But now comes the big question. Will the Cowboys actually pull the trigger on one of these guys? Dallas has a history of prioritizing positions like offensive line and defense in the first round. But with CeeDee Lamb needing help and Dak Prescott entering a critical year, adding a game-changing WR could be exactly what this offense needs to reach the next level. So, what do you think? Should the Cowboys go after a wide receiver in the draft, or should they focus on another position? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're always bringing you the latest Cowboys news, draft analysis, and